In this video, we'll be looking at the IV rank and IV percentile. We'll see together how they calculated and what are the differences between the two. Here's what we'll cover specifically. What is the IV rank and IV percentile? What are the differences between the IV rank and IV percentile, with examples, and how I use the IV rank and IV percentile and how it can help you place smarter trades. And at the end of this video, you'll have understood the differences and specificities of the IV rank and IV percentile, and you will be able to use them in a better way to place smarter trades. And if you like this video, please do not hesitate to comment, like, and subscribe, and that'd be a huge support for me. So thanks so much, and I hope you'll enjoy the video. So first of all, let's try to understand why we would use the IV rank and IV percentile in the first place. When looking at an underlying's implied volatility, the problem is to judge how high is the IV for that particular underlying. For example, let's imagine that we see a 50% implied volatility on the SPY. The question is 50% implied volatility on the SPY high or low? We need to find a way to understand, based on the past implied volatility for the SPY, if 50% is actually high or low. And that's why we have the IV rank and IV percentile. We use them to measure how high or low the current implied volatility is relative to what happened in the past. And that's why we have the IV rank and IV percentile. The purpose of those two tools is to put the implied volatility in perspective and see quickly if the current implied volatility is high or low based on what happened in the past for that underlying. So the IV rank is a measure of the current implied volatility against the historical implied volatility range over a 1-year period. And to get that number, we subtract the 1-year IV low from the current IV, and we divide it by the 1-year IV high minus the 1-year IV low. That tells us how high is the current implied volatility based on the highest IV point and lowest IV over the past year. The second tool we have is the IV percentile. The goal is the same, but the calculation is different. The IV percentile calculates the percentage of days in the past 52 weeks in which the IV was lower than the current level. And we divided the number of trading days below the current IV by 252. The number of trading days in a year to get the IV percentile is 252 days, hence why we divided by 252. And now that we know what is the IV rank and what is the IV percentile and how they are meant to help us, we can determine what to do and what trades to take based on volatility context, meaning depending if the volatility is high or low, using the IV rank or IV percentile, we would know what to do. And when we are in a low volatility context, we ideally want to use long volatility strategies to benefit from a rise in the implied volatility, or commonly called an IV expansion. And when we are in a high volatility context, we want to use short volatility strategies to benefit from a decline in the implied volatility, or commonly called an IV contraction. So let's look at how the IV rank is actually calculated. Let's assume that the graph that you see here is the implied volatility curve for an XYZ stock. Over the last year, the implied volatility has reached 70% maximum, and the 1-year low was 20%, and the current implied volatility is at 60%. And to calculate the IV rank in this example, we subtract 20% from 60% and divide it by 70% minus 20%. That gives us an IV rank of 80%. And it means that the current underlying IV is close to the top of the historical IV range, as it's 80%. Now that we have seen an example with the IV rank, let's see an example with the IV percentile. Once again, we have our implied volatility curve with the current IV at 60%. And as per the IV percentile definition we saw before, the goal here is to calculate how many days are under the current IV. So let's assume that the green zone represents 10 days above the current IV. As we have 252 trading days in a year and we have 10 days above the current IV, it means that we have 242 days below the current IV. So to calculate the IV percentile, we divide 242 by 252 and we get an IV percentile of 96%. And to understand what the results mean, let's look at some examples. So I've put up some examples of IV rank and their interpretation. Those examples of IV rank are nowhere near what you should actually refer to in general. Those are just examples to show you what could be the interpretation if you had an IV rank of 0%, 50%, or 100%. So if we have an IV rank of 0% or anything close to 0%, it means that the current underlying IV at the bottom is at the bottom of the historical IV range, and we are in a low volatility context. So ideally, we want to be long volatility here. If you have an IV rank around 50%, it means that the current implied volatility is at the middle of the historical IV range. And when the IV rank is close to 100%, it means that the current implied volatility is at the top of the historical IV range and we're in a high volatility context. And so we want to be looking to place short volatility trades. And when we look at the IV percentile, for example, here we look at an IV percentile of 0%, we say that over the past year, the underlying IV has been below its current level 0% of the time. And if the IV percentile is at 50%, we say that over the past year, the underlying IV has been below its current level 50% of the time. And same thing if the IV percentile is close to 100%, it means that over the past year, the underlying IV has been below its current level 100% of the time. And when we look at the two results we got before with the IV rank and IV percentile for the same measure of implied volatility and the same high and lows, we might wonder which one is better to use as we have different numbers. And is there any advantage in using the IV rank over the IV percentile, or is it the opposite? Is there any advantages to use the IV percentile over the IV rank? And to understand which one is better, we need to look at real-life examples and see the differences between the IV rank and IV percentile. And we have here a screenshot from the Thinkorswim platform with the IWM ETF on the top half, and on the bottom half you have the implied volatility for the IWM. And those charts represent 1 year of data. And you can see that in March, there was an increase in the implied volatility because of the coronavirus crash, and the implied volatility went even above 80%. And at the time of recording this video, you see that the implied volatility for IWM fell to 37.61%, so let's say around 38%. Notice that for an implied volatility of 38%, the IV rank is at 36% and the IV percentile is at 75%. So why is there such a big difference between the two? And the reason is because of the rise of the implied volatility in March. As there has been a rise in the implied volatility, the range over which the IV rank is calculated becomes a lot bigger, rating the current implied volatility lower than what it actually is. Because you can see that over the last year, the current implied volatility is clearly above the rest in general. You see that the current implied volatility of 38% on average is above what happened during the last year, except for March. And that is shown a lot more by the IV percentile, which shows an IV percentile of 75% compared to the IV rank of 36%. And if you were only looking at the IV rank, you could think that the implied volatility is quite low, it's rated at 36%. But with the IV percentile, you see that 75% of the days over the last year were below the current IV. And that's really the main problem about the IV rank. Even though the current IV is above most of the last year's implied volatility, the IV rank shows a small number, here 36%. And as I said, it's because of the range over which the IV rank is calculated. As it's a lot bigger, what seems like a high implied volatility in terms of IV percentile is shown a lot smaller for the IV rank. And another example with the SPY this time. So as on the IWM examples, we have a rise in the implied volatility in March. And when we look at the IV percentile, we see that it's at 73%, while the IV rank is at 24%. So you see that it's quite a big difference once again. And obviously, like right now, for the majority of the tickers, that will be the same pattern, meaning that the IV rank will seem low, while the IV percentile is high because of most of the tickers had a rise in the implied volatility due to the coronavirus crash. So you will find that pattern quite often, and I'm sure that you can check yourself in your trading platform and pull up the implied volatility curve for any ticker, and you will see that same pattern. The IV rank tends to show weaknesses when a spike in the implied volatility occurs, and even though the numbers are correct, they don't reflect the reality as the IV rank seems low compared to the 1 year high, even though that 1 year high could only last 1 day. And that can be shown, for example, with an implied volatility curve where you see that there was like low highs, and at some point, like in the coronavirus crash, the implied volatility occurred. And what was previously a 100% IV rank is now only worth a 35% IV rank, as the IV rank is calculated over a much bigger range. So what's the solution if the IV rank doesn't show the real number? Should we use the IV percentile instead? So I have two best practices that I use, and those are very simple but very effective in my training, and I think that that could help you in your training too. So the first one is to understand that the context in which you're training. You have to understand if there has been a spike in the implied volatility, if there has been one that occurred over the last year that could affect the implied volatility. For example, in 2020, the IV rank will be affected by the coronavirus crash for a year, as there has been a spike in March. And we know that because of that, the IV rank will tend to show a lower number than what it actually is. So you need to be aware of that. And the second best practice is that I personally do is that I always look at both metrics when considering a trade to really get the full picture of how is the implied volatility behaving. And by looking at both, meaning that you look at the ratio of the number of days under the current IV with the IV percentile, and you look at the IV rank, you can place way smaller trades because you really get the volatility picture in a much better way than looking just at the IV rank, for example. So now that we saw the differences between the IV rank and IV percentile and how I personally use the IV rank and IV percentile in my training, let's see some key takeaways to take out of this video. So we use the IV rank and IV percentile to judge how high is an underlying implied volatility relative to itself. And the IV rank rates how high is the implied volatility, while the IV percentile counts the number of days under the current implied volatility. And after a spike in the implied volatility, the IV rank will show lower numbers as the range is greater, even though in terms of number of days, the current implied volatility can be greater than the majority of the training days. And finally, combining the IV rank and the IV percentile in your analysis is a great way to grasp the full picture about an underlying, because you do not only want to use the IV rank or, for example, only use the IV percentile, because I feel that it doesn't necessarily give you the full volatility picture. So thanks so much for having watched the video, and I really hope that you liked it and you understood the differences between the IV rank and IV percentile and how to use them really in a better way to play smaller trades. And if you liked the video, please don't hesitate to like it and let me know what you think in the comment section. And thanks so much everyone for having watched it, and see you in the next video.